14 units for 1.2 in one of the hottest markets in the country, Charlotte, North Carolina. Check this out. I'm with my boy Ricky Hickman out here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Ricky's special. I say he's special not because he's 6'2", he played guard, but he played 14 years professional ball across seas. Okay, played 14 years of that, and I was telling my cameraman on the way here, I was like, man, a lot of guys from my city where I grew up at in Jersey or the area, they played across seas, but you know, they ran through the money, they didn't do right with the money, etc. So I got my man Ricky here, who was actually investing since he's been in the pros, came to Charlotte, created a big wholesaling business. And this is what I tell you guys all the time with wholesaling, it's about you knowing how to find your deals. Because once you know how to find a deal, you know what to keep as well. With that being said, he got into that and he's just been buying everything up since, man. Ricky, first, thank you for coming on and letting me interview you in this apartment complex. But how did you get into real estate? Let's start there. Like, how did you get into real estate?
As you said, when I was playing overseas, I was there for 14 years, and the realtor that sold me my first home here in Charlotte, she would just send me, you know, rental property opportunities while I was overseas. So what I was doing is I would like buy one or two every year, and that's kind of how I started getting into real estate.
Just buying one or two every year?
One or two every year, you know, from the money that I made overseas.
Yeah.
And then, you know, try to stack it, because in overseas you don't have a retirement plan.
Right.
So my retirement plan was to buy rentals, and you know, when I'm done, you know, try to use that cash flow to kind of, you know, live off.
How did you know to say, like, I'm gonna pull the trigger? Because what, like most people, even when they have the money, that's when they don't do anything. They freeze up like a deer in the headlights. They don't do anything because they too scared to take the risk. Or you bring them the best opportunity in the world. I've seen it. You bring them the best. You say, yo, buy this deal. This is an excellent deal. They freeze up, and then they come back. Yo, you know, I just don't know enough to feel comfortable, etc. But like, what got you to that point, right? Yeah, you bought your first house, which I'm assuming that was your primary, right?
Yeah.
So you bought your primary inside Charlotte, and then she started sending you rental properties. Like, but what made you like, you wasn't scared?
Well, I was more scared of like when I finished playing, because you know, when you look at all these stories about guys that play pro ball, they just run through all that money, and then you know, they kind of, you know, it's a big struggle, you know, once they retire. So for me, I was more scared of like when I retired, not being able to have, you know, no income. So I was like, I got to get ahead of this ahead of time, and that's why I just started small, and then, you know, as you see, you know, the stuff start performing, you know, you get a little bit more aggressive.
That makes a lot of sense to me. I tell people all the time, they be like, yo, when you was at your job, what made you keep going, you know, when it wasn't working? The fear of staying there the rest of my life. The fear of being in this call center the rest of my life. Hey guys, I'm 39 today. For me being 39 in the call center, that was more scarier than anything that could happen in entrepreneurship to me. So I just went ahead and took the risk, and I got fired at 29. Celebrated 10 years of entrepreneurship in September. So just being a full-time entrepreneur. So to me, that was more scary. So basically, all right, the same outlook across seas. Tell me a little about your basketball career. Were you like a starter, or you were coming off the bench, or how was that working out?
Most teams I played at, I did start. You know, there's maybe a team or two where I did come off the bench that was, you know, very high level. But I played in EuroLeague, which is, you know, outside of the NBA, it's the second best league in the world.
Okay.
So, you know, I had a lot of opportunities to see, you know, places across seas in the world, and you know, my kids got a chance to, you know, grow up.
As far as, you know, you being over there, right now, around when you were having these discussions, were you having these discussions with teammates? Because I know, like, you were like, when I first met you, we started talking on the phone for years before we actually met up. But when I first, you were like low key and reserved. So was that your attitude when you were playing for a sports team? Y'all didn't talk about anything, no finances, no the next level, what you want to do? Was that how you were doing it, or did y'all openly discuss finances as teammates?
Well, you know, a lot of times, you know, you don't really openly discuss it, but you know, you get close with a lot of different guys. And a lot of, you know, teams I played on, you know, we still tight to this day. Like
gotcha.
A lot of the guys that I played with, like, it was like my brothers. So, you know, now looking back on it, you know, we didn't really talk finances like that a lot, but you know, now we talk about finances all the time. So like, you know, my boy that's still playing over and overseas, like, we'll talk about rental properties all the time and doing stuff together, and you know, what's the strategy we want to do going forward after he retires, and what I'm doing now. So now it's crazy. Like looking back on, I wish we would have got ahead of it, but you know, everybody says that.
Everybody definitely says that, right? So, when last time you played professional?
2020 was my last season in Italy, and COVID was like right when it started. You know, they canceled the season. You know, we went back home, me and my family, and then outside of that, we just, you know, I was like, man, I gotta figure out what's next after basketball. And then that was kind of like when I started to really look at wholesaling and start getting into real estate.
All right, I'm gonna say this to you though, bro. Since we've been meeting up and, you know, seeing each other, I know 2020 wasn't that long ago, it was only 2 years. But since then, like, how do you manage to stay slim? Because every time I see you, your joint fit and it's kind of snug. I ain't gonna lie, you know, you be kind of fly, but how do you manage to do that? Because I started juicing, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get my meat intake down to once a day and get my blood levels and all that right, but I'm trying to lose this. But how do you manage to continue to stay like you ready to shoot a three-pointer?
Listen, that's a good question. And like for me, once I retired, you know, I did pick up a little weight. It wasn't a lot, but the biggest thing is the eating habits, man. Like I noticed once I came back home, you know, I was still eating like I was playing overseas. You know, overseas I could eat McDonald's, I can go, you know, eat, you know, whatever, man. And I would just, you know, burn the calories. It was nothing.
Yeah.
But when I came back over here, I started to see the pounds creep up, and I'm like, all right. So I just stopped. I cut out breakfast. I don't really eat breakfast, and you know, I have a small lunch, and then you know, dinner. You know, usually something decent size, but I just limit my portions too.
Limit your portions. Somebody else, they just did limited portions, lost a whole bunch of weight.
It's a key, man. Because,
Yeah.
you know, if you don't, it is. I mean, you can gain. You know, you can gain weight.
Easy, especially as you get older.
Eating, sleeping.
Yeah.
Staying up late.
All right, so cool. Let's check this out, man. Which unit we going in first?
We're gonna go in unit 3.
All right, let's go in unit 3, man.
Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. Run it up. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz.
All right, cool, man. We're in the living room. How many bedrooms and bath is this? Are all of them the same?
They're all 2 bedrooms, 1.5 baths. Some of them are like 950 square feet, and some are like 900 square feet.
This used to be a low-income area. In Charlotte, it's kind of hard to find a low-income area these days, but this used to be like a low-income area, aka the hood. Fast forward to 2022, for a 2 1.5, I'm gonna say, what's that, about $1,200-1,300 in rent right now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's on the lower spectrum, guys. That's on the lower spectrum. Once you redo these, depending on how you redo them, man, it's a possibility you could.
This would be a good one.
Right, it's not. This would be a great one because you close to Center City. It's a lot of opportunity here, man. And as I don't have to tell you, like, this is probably going to continue to go up and up and up and up and up because you're close to the downtown. There's been some good sales around here, man. It's been crazy. So, all right, we're in the living room. That's the half bath right here, right?
Yeah.
So your guests can use the half baths. All right, so you got the kitchen here. And with your kitchen, what's your plan? What's your vision? How do you want this to turn out?
So when I first came in here, you know, I wanted to, you know, move around some of the plumbing. But after getting a quote, I was like, all right, we're gonna change that plan. So we're gonna keep things kind of in the same situation they are. We're gonna move the water heater somewhere else, probably do a tankless water heater maybe, and you know, put that in the closet or somewhere. But I think we're just gonna stick with the original floor plan like it is, and you know, make things cost effective. And
Yeah.
go that route.
All right, what kind of countertop you gonna go back with?
I am gonna go with grade 1 granite, and I'm gonna do new cabinets.
New cabinets, grade 1.
The reason why is because, you know, after talking to my property manager, the amount of rent that you can get, the difference between doing granite is huge. It's almost like another $100.
Not only the difference, but the quality of the tenant that's willing to live here. Because you pretty much, with these 14 units, you pretty much control a large portion of the neighborhood now. You can determine if the neighborhood goes up in value or goes down in value, depending on how you do these. So I do think the granite will get the right person. Back in the living room, got your half bath. All right, now we got the stairs. Yo, this layout is not bad at all, though.
It's simple.
It's simple, but it's a good layout. I've seen worse. Full bath for everybody who's living upstairs, a 2-bedroom. What's your vision for this?
So we had talked about, you know, bricking in because of this window, but the The cost to do that it's because like half the units have a window in them and half don't. So the cost to do that is about the same. It's just basically tiling them. So we just gonna subway tile the whole shower up to the top, and we're gonna have the regular LVP all the way through here, and that's pretty much it. But we're still debating about keeping these hardwoods because they pretty just finishing them.
No, the hardwood is beautiful. Hardwood is definitely beautiful, but my thing about it though, what I've been doing is covering the hardwood up if I'm gonna keep it as a rental.
Just over the top
LVP, bro, because you got, and I've learned this recently, you gotta get the high quality LVP. Don't get the cheap stuff like I got.
99 cents.
Don't do the 99-cent LVP. Don't do the $1.50. You gotta get the higher quality stuff because it's way more durable and they guarantee it longer. Because I've done a few houses with the low quality stuff, and it ain't the same. My friend who flips probably about 40 or 50 houses a year, he put me on why he uses that instead. I'm like, man, it's some expensive LVP you got me getting. He's like, yeah, because I was doing a rental unit at the one tenant, bro. I had to throw it out, sent me the video and everything. And I'm like, this is why my stuff be breaking and not holding up well, because I'm getting the cheaper stuff. So yeah, that's a pro tip. All right, so we in the bedroom over here. What are you gonna do with heat and air? Are you gonna put units out here?
I'm actually meeting somebody out here today about that because debating about mini splits and just going with new baseboard heating, I just got to get a good, price on that, man, because that can turn your budget, up pretty quickly.
Very real high.
But I do know, like, versus having a window unit, I mean, like I said, I know the mini split is going to give me at least an extra $200 in rent.
Yeah, absolutely. You hear that, guys? An extra $200. So the granite is going to be an extra $100. Mini splits can be an extra $200. Okay. This is your second bedroom. Are you going to continue with the popcorn ceiling?
I was going to ask you that. I honestly, that was more a question. Like, what would you do with the popcorn ceiling?
I would try to scrape it.
You would scrape it?
I would try to scrape it just so it can be more modern. I would try. You know what I mean? I would go get some guys and see how much they're going to scrape it because you got to paint the units everywhere. Normal, you just need labor for that. That's not a skilled trade. You just need labor for somebody to scrape it. Because if you ask the contractor to do it, he might say, man, we got sheetrock over it or something like that. It's gonna blow your cost up rather than just get a laborer, because they don't like to do it. It's a lot of work because you literally just scraping. So you just get
times 14.
Yeah, times 14 and just scraping units all day. Yeah, man, but I would try to scrape all this so this can be smooth, because this neighborhood has so many potentials. If you look at home sales in this neighborhood, you'll be impressed.
I've seen that it's growing, man. Like, that's why I was really adamant about, following through, trying to get this one, man, because I'm like, I can get this at the perfect time. Because anytime I buy something to keep, I'm looking 5 to 10 years. That's always, I put everything on a 5 to 10 year plan. And this one right here is, it's going to be one of my best investments, man, when I finish with it.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good investment, man. And you really control a portion of the neighborhood. All right, we're going to do now, guys. We're going to go to the other unit, man. Check that one out. All right, we back. And another unit. What you doing with this fridge, bro?
Man, you know what? Some of these fridges are like not in bad shape, so I don't know if I'll keep them for like another rental property.
You got storage space to put your stuff at?
I can put it in storage, yeah. But it's like at least 10 of them that look decent.
Yeah, that's the thing about them, man. You never know when you're gonna need a fridge, and just one plain white fridge. So if you got the storage spot to keep them. Now, since you got 10, yeah, it's probably worth paying storage in that case to keep them, man, because that's not a bad refrigerator. That can easily be, just cleaned up. And
some of them are stainless steel, some of them are white.
Yeah, it's not a bad unit. All right, so this one, it feels a little bigger. Got a closet right there.
And this halfback is even a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I see.
So this unit right here is about 950 square feet.
Let's go in the kitchen. Oh, it's got a washer and dryer. I didn't notice that in the other one.
Yeah, it had the hookup, but it just wasn't there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so the washer and dryer is connected for here.
Okay.
But yeah, like my original plan was to try to, like I said, change the plumbing around a little bit, get a stackable, with a water heater, but cost effective, it's better to just keep things where they are right now.
Absolutely. So that's your water heater right there.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't like the water heater being right there. It takes up, some space.
I own a triplex that's like that.
Like the water heater in the kitchen like that?
Water heater right in the kitchen.
Framed out like that too?
Framed out like that, ain't it? Yeah.
Is that like a thing in Charlotte or something?
I guess so. Back in the lower income neighborhoods. You know, it's probably how they treated us. Same thing, you're gonna go back with the granite, new cabinets, new modern cabinets, but you're gonna keep that water heater there. Okay, your dryer will go right there, your stove there. Fridge, I guess you can use this side for the fridge. Okay, and you got a back door here, right out, go right in the backyard. Let's go upstairs, see what we got upstairs. All right, so now I got a bathroom here, right? Subway tile, same thing, tile out all the way up. New vanity, new toilet, LVP flooring up here. Man, this hardwood is beautiful.
That's not bad at all.
Nah, not bad. The tenants actually kept good care of it, man.
Now some of the windows are like, it is some rotted wood, so we would need to, you know, address that. But for the most part, you know, like I said, I'm trying to be smart with my budget, and if it's withstandable and, you know, in decent condition, we're gonna keep it.
How did you find this deal?
Man, you know, being from wholesale, when I see stuff on the MLS, I never pay any attention. I never do. But so like when this was, you know, I have a realtor that showed me this one, and when I was like, dang man, like that's right next to a duplex I own. So I started getting interested, and the price was a lot higher than I was gonna pay. So
Way higher.
It was ridiculously high. So I was like, hey, send them an offer for this. So they sent the offer. They considered it, but they went with someone else's offer. We went under contract. 3 months later, came back on the market. I was like, all right, let's try this again. So we offered 1.3, and you know, they accepted it. So I was like, cool. Then after that, you know, we had our inspection report. You know, inspection report revealed some stuff. We had to upgrade the electrical.
Absolutely, I noticed that.
And
yes.
we definitely had to, you know, redo some plumbing. So I showed them the quotes that I got back. So we went back, got the price down $100,000. So ended up closing it, you know, last week at, you know, 1.2.
All right, so you closed 1.2. Congratulations, bro. This is nice, man. I owned, if you can see out this window, come on, Mr. Cameraman. If you can see out this window, there's a vacant lot. I owned, it used to be a house there, and that vacant lot. I paid $8,000 or $12,000 for that. Somewhere between $8,000 or $12,000 for that. And with me getting that unit, I paid, there was a house there. I think I sold it for like 16, 20. I wish I would have kept it, but I didn't have the resources or the money as I have now. Carolina Hard Money did the loan for me. CarolinaHardMoney.com. So shout out to Wendy at CarolinaHardMoney.com. Make sure y'all, you know, utilize her. But she lended me money. She said, yeah, I did the loan, don't worry about it. And did the loan, and yeah, we sold it. We both made money. So this neighborhood was rough and hardcore then. The whole Charlotte is just overall is getting better. Like the sales, you see some good sales in the neighborhood that will definitely make you want to invest into this now. My man, shout out to Mr. Three's Seafood. That's literally in walking distance from down the street. Yeah, Mr. Three's Seafood. Make sure he got some really good seafood. I'm put his Instagram on the screen, but got some really good seafood. You closed at 1.2, all right? Now, did you use financing or others people money? How did you?
So what I did was I sold my duplex to help kind of, you know, put the down payment.
Of course.
And, you know, some of the, you know, wholesale deals that I've done, you know, I've kept that, you know, built that up too. And, you know, I used that money to, you know, put the down payment on this one and you know, kind of float this renovation project. But when I spoke to my property manager, the reason why I pushed so hard for this deal was like, I think originally we quoted it right now at like $87,000 a door. But when we finish, it'll be like a $175,000 to $200,000 per door.
Easy.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're looking at a ARV completed rent probably like at least $3 million.
$3 million ARV with a 1.4 purchase after he puts the money in, man. This is special. I mean, even that price, this might sound crazy depending on where you at. That price is actually an excellent price for a Charlotte apartment complex, because in Charlotte, everything's high. So yeah, this is crazy that you was able to grab this in this neighborhood, man. But with the renovation, let me ask you this, and I'm asking for myself, just me being selfish. All right, are you going to do one by one, or are you going to make everybody leave?
Well, right now we got 9 vacant units, and we have the rest of them. They are occupied, and you know, the tenants are definitely way below on rent.
Yeah.
But with that being said, they are caught up. For some reason, they got caught up right when I closed. So they had eviction, but they caught up right when I closed. So I think I'm gonna let everybody stay in for right now, but I'm trying to do two a month. So that's the goal, is to get 2 a month, and then get those leased up, then move to the next 2. So that's kind of the goal I got with my contractor. And then eventually, I'm going to have to either ask them to pay market rent, which I know will probably be difficult for us in there now, or just have to, unfortunately, probably do an eviction.
Okay, I like that. How do people get in touch with you? Because after this video, they're gonna want to get in touch with you. They're gonna be able to relate to your story. Because I get a lot of former athletes in my DM on Instagram, needing guidance and help transition into the next stage of their life. From what I realized, the guys who are realistically accept the fact that they're not gonna play sports forever, they do better after sports. Well, they do good after sports. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if you read 50 Cent's book, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, which is a great book. I gotta get that 50 Cent book. But one of the things he said, man, when I dropped, I think it was like his second or third album, he said, I knew I was done. He was like, yo, because I only sold 1 million copies. He was like, man, for any other artist, 1 million copies is great. But for 50 Cent, 1 million copies ain't that good. So he was like, he knew he had to be able to pivot into other things. And that's exactly what he did. And like with the basketball thing, you pivoted into other things. You're a family man too. You always got your son with you at the Hornets game. Yeah. Something my father did when I was younger. Now granted, we didn't have the seats you had. My boy got the seats with the food and drink is included. You know what I mean? Ricky doing it out here. So now the guys on the court, do you know any of them?
I knew two guys. One guy actually played with me in Germany. Okay. I don't know if he's on the team anymore, but I know a couple of the players.
Oh, you do know a couple? Okay, all right. Give us your social media. How people get in touch with you?
Well, at Instagram, it's hit1985, and on TikTok, it's with the _value.
Okay, @_value, and Hick is HICK, right?
That's right.
Definitely, I'm gonna put his Instagram on the screen. It's also gonna be in the description. Make sure y'all follow him, hit him up. Guy, he putting out some good content, put out some good reels, and and that's the thing on social media, right? I be wanting to put out some long form content, but they kind of drown that out. So you got to put on the short form, whatever. But the YouTube, man, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, right? Because so I can do my long form content. But anyway, I got a question for you guys. All right. So where you live at, right? Can you get 14 units for 1.2? Like, where you live at? Here, that's a great deal. That's a great deal here. But is that doable in your market? Of course, if you're in Detroit, in the Midwest, yeah, we know that's doable. You could probably get 14 units. But tell me, how much 14 units going to run where you at in your market? But yeah, Ricky, I appreciate it. We're going to send people to the gram. Thank you, man. All right.